Okay, welcome everybody to Olympus versus Citrix. I'm gonna have a 12v12 with standard 12v12 limits. It's gonna be an interesting match. Probably the top two teams, excluding the Baguettes, who are above every team right now, I would say. Citrix having a pretty good showing against the Baguettes in week 2, and also had a pretty good showing against Delta Force in week 1, while Olympus has been struggling in the past couple of weeks. Still getting a win over Delta Force, but it was a very close match last week and getting pretty noticeably defeated by the Baguette. So it's going to be a very important match, hopefully a good close one. What are your thoughts coming into this, Cardona?
So I think it's pretty interesting how the seeding works so far. We have both, of course, losing to TB, and then both winning against Delta Force. And so far, like, the matches against Delta Force are pretty comparable. Like, both teams made it all the way to map 3 and then finally proved out here. I think it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens in terms of giving one team an advantage. I can't really give one right off the bat looking at these rosters. They both seem like they are the best rosters for the team.
Now we do see a push here from Olympus, and actually on the other side with Citrix with the Fatal Burst. Outer Self goes down to damage. Both pushes being handled by the defense. This is Bazaar I. Olympus has been known to play on the original Bazaar a good number of times, one of the main maps besides Waitomo Caves. But this map is slightly different. Crossing over is a little bit easier for offense. Getting hit into Void or swapped into Void is much more difficult with the bears around. So overall, it gives a slightly more edge to the offensive side, but still a fairly defensive map.
Definitely. I think I do want to note something here for Olympus's defense. Since we do have Food Court playing Pyro, we have Carowinds flexing to Soldier defense, which is something I really like to see because typically you see him on either Pyro or Ninja for this roster. He hasn't rocked Soldier or Heavy in a while, and he's actually still very solid at it.
Justin had a steal out as Soldier, got pretty far, but goes down to the Assassin. Participator is getting a backup steal, but he's very low health, going to go down very quickly there. Pretty good look from Olympus here. Two Sensational was out, almost got to the medic, but went down to the Assassin and probably would have gone down to damage anyways. Aussie gets out as Soldier as the Pyro for Citrix goes down to double Ninja.
He does have a medic here running towards him. Did manage to defend off the Assassin, but he's very low. No stick. Is going to get the full restore here.
Still a lot in front of him, though, including the Pyro.
Ooh, gets boosted up a little bit. Hobo's doing a good job of positioning himself in front of Aussie, so he's not able to get across that wall. Taking substantial damage from the people on the ground here. Looks like he will go down on 0 stake. Actually, just ate his last one. And Medic is not going to get back in time. That was well played from Hobo. He kept the high ground, forcing Aussie back down to the Heavy and Ninja waiting below.
Something to note on this map. It was more notable on the original Bazaar, but even on this map, spawn is technically in front of flag, which allows the defense that dies to respawn can get in front of flag carriers when they get out. And also our fenders, you notice a couple of fenders such as Pudgy, can get in the way as well of flag carriers that are trying to get out. On the other side, we see a Soldier steal from Fizzle. Once again, getting blockaded by the bulk. It's going to get on top of spawn, but it's still pretty low health. Only 3.5 hearts.
Ooh, now he's down to 2 with that poison tick. Looking for a pass to one of his teammates.
Passes to the Ninja.
Ooh, but goes down to the Heavy in front. Probably not the class you want to picking up there.
Yeah, the Ninja was focusing on supporting, which was good. Unfortunate that the Ninja picked up instead of, say, the Soldier. We actually see
Justin at mid here.
And he did pass to another Soldier who is almost full health. And at spawn. This might be the first cap of the game. 4 minutes in.
Didn't get to see
does
too much of what happened, but I think he went over the spawn to get there.
Crystal does also have the flag. Needs to survive here if they want to stop Olympus from capping.
Did get hit by the health pot there, even though they did have 0 stake. The health pot did manage to keep alive enough for this restore. Restore doesn't look like it happened.
Restore did go down. He did get restore. Actually, he goes down to the pyro. Citrix my bad. Fizzle passes to color, so this actually might just be a counter steal opportunity for Citrix. A very long one.
Yes, that's in there. Yeah, that was pretty interesting to note. Is Ring's health there? He had roughly over 4.5 hearts. So whatever he did, he pulled off pretty clutchly. Color does have the Assassin as well as Bulk in front. Assassin does go down, freeing him up to stop blocking. He is going to walk this into flag unless Olympus can support Dave.
Dave has a ninja steal all the way at spawn. Might be able to pass this to Soleo. As heavy, we have a stalemate now. A very clutch ninja steal from Dave keeps Olympus, keeps Citrix from getting that 1-tap lead. Very good play from him. Heads up play.
Definitely. Especially worth noting he did that as opposed to trying to attack Color with the rest of his team that was on him at the moment, just because Color had enough support to likely fend off the extra ninja. So now we have Heavy versus Soldier. How do you feel about both of these flag holders?
Well, I think more to note, I think both are fine. It depends on which position they're standing in. Another thing that you should note about Bazaar over Bazaar 1, or Bazaar 1 over Bazaar rather, is stalemate spots. There's a lot of changes to the map which prevent certain stalemate spots from being too closed and easy to play. So we see Soleo playing near spawn in the corner. It's a typical spot you see for, say, bulk players like Leo. On the other side, for Color, he's holding in the flag room. A little bit more open, allows him to go out and wall climb around and maneuver to avoid damage and things like Assassin and Pyros. So I think both are playing in a stalemate spot that is suitable to the class they are playing.
Definitely. Notably, I believe, yeah, so there's no way of hitting a headshot where Leo is, unless he's able to get pushed out. Meanwhile, on the side here, Color is easier to push out and therefore easier to headshot. As you can see, he did get Death Tag and is being comboed by the Heavy now. Death Tag does get removed. They do have a lot of bulk on him now. He's forced to go out. Bulk is still alive here. Color on 0 stakes and only 3 hearts. Does have regeneration. Color still has 0 stakes and no restore. Desperately looking for it here. And Ring manages to finally take down the Heavy, easing off the pressure on him. That was very close from Olympus.
Yeah, and Olympus is recognizing they had a lot of pressure when stating that Color was panicking. A lot more pressure so far from Olympus' side than Citrix. Not much getting onto Soleo versus a lot getting onto Color there. So you expect, given how Stalemate's pacing works, that Olympus keeps up that pressure and will eventually get the week of before Citrix does.
Definitely. Do have a push here from Citrix. Looks like they went for a Scout Death Tag. However, the amount of Olympus support here at spawn is going to mow them down. I think that's also worth noting about Leo's hold spot over Color's hold spot. If any of his support dies, they are immediately back in the game helping him out. Whereas if something such as Color's medic dying happens, he could be in a tough position for a very long time.
Now, Color has repositioned slightly to go near the spawn route, and in fact is going to opt to go in the spawn tunnel that leads from spawn to flag, which is another common stalemate spot I think you see now in Bazaar 1. And also, once again, allows Color to have some free maneuverability if he gets pressured a lot.
Definitely. We have Olympus' push coming in through here again. It looks like double Heavy. They now have the medic here, ER6, as well as Carowinds on Soldier. everything in on him right now, and looks like the Pyro is going to get this frenzy off. Is only able to take care of the soldier though, and Color is very low here. Color with only 1 stake is going to get the restore here. Managed to climb away from the heavies. Assassin is here.
Assassin.
Ooh.
Once again, this is the strength of where Color is holding. As since he is soldier, he is able to just stall and avoid taking damage as his team comes back and kills the recovery.
Yeah, definitely good thing to see from Soldier, especially when you have 2 heavies coming on him on recovery time. The best bet for Olympus here is a surprise assassination, or even void swap could work with how much Color is moving around. Though it is worth mentioning that void swaps are more difficult to get on this map, with the back wall here preventing scouts from getting up there at free will. Color is away from his support now. He's going to loop back around to it. Looks like we have Ocean Soldier here to adapt to Color's mobility bonus over heavy.
Participator was also on scout looking for a spawn swap, but didn't manage to pull it off. A lot of pressure. He almost gets knocked into spawn there.
That was almost very nice from Olympus. Worth noting that all of their bulk gets on Color every time, so I'm not sure what Citrix's roaming is doing, or if they have any, but they should definitely try to put countermeasures for that. Color getting very low on stake with each and every push.
Color is once again repositioning now, opting to go top spawn. Wanted to see where he decides to stick. There's a lot of Olympus players on top spawn right now, including a medic supporting the bulk. Color has been moving a lot recently. He's switching between calm and stalemate spots as Olympus pushes him.
Which is actually something I appreciate on this map. And just in general, as long as you have good awareness of where stuff like the Assassin and Archer are, moving around can throw off their recovery, which is all grouping up to likely go to the same spot you were at before. With Color moving around here, it gives his team and his roaming more time to break them down before they get across the map. You do have an Archer in position taking shots at Color, however, he isn't in the right spot for that to hit. Meanwhile, on the side of Olympus, there hasn't been too much recovery from Citrix coming in. Looks like they are focusing more on defending here. We do have an elf on the side looking to take pure element shots at his support, as well as watering. Likely to neuter Food Course Pyro. Ooh, okay, so it looks like Mashiro almost got a spawn swap on Leo.
Color's pretty low here. He's only at 2.5 hearts. Basically the medic regen. But hasn't gotten the restore yet. Oh, he did get the restore. He did get the restore.
Yeah, he does have it now.
Participator was also shooting on Archer, onto Color. I got a few close shots, but none of them landed. Once again, that's the risk of moving around like that, is while it does keep you away from the enemy recov, the bulk recov rather, it does put you more vulnerable against Archer, so that is something he has to be mindful of when he maneuvers around like that.
Definitely. We do still have Participated taking Archer shots here onto Color's location. If he does move, which he's doing right now, he's putting himself in range, but if he stays put, then the Archer isn't going to be able to hit him. He is forced to move around a little more with the bulk getting on him. Ooh, gets separated from the rest of his team there. Is going to be able to get back and get the restore.
Once again, I don't think there's been that much pressure onto Soleil himself. He's just been staying in the same spot, not needing to move or unblock or anything like that.
Yeah,
Olympus
I think...
definitely... You go.
I think the Citrix recovery, the closest they got was nearly a spawn swap onto Leo, but he wasn't able to get knocked in or move after the swap happened. We do have two heavies from Citrix preparing to go in here. Looks like Citrix as well as Z-Hobo. Citrix is being dealt with by Slurp. Looks like they're both finally going to get in. They do have a medic, however, Food Court's Frenzy is going to come out here. Escape is also joining. We have triple heavy on Leo now. But the massive amount of Olympus is swarming onto him. So despite all of that damage, actually, okay, he was down to 1 heart there without the medic restore. So that was actually much closer than it seemed.
We have only 5 minutes left now. This map could end in the tie. I think the only other possibility that we see is a Olympus recovering and getting that 1 cap lead. But if this map does end in a tie, that would be very interesting due to this week's maps. We don't have any 3 cap maps this week. It is Bazaar 1, which is a 4 cap map, Rundown, which is also a 4 cap map, and Harvest 2, which of course is a 5 cap map. Color was very low here. He actually was on half a
Very
one.
close to spawn too.
He was on 1.5 hearts there. Might get pushed in the spawn. He's
not able to climb out. There's a recovery for Olympus.
Remember, this will be technically Olympus's ninja cap. This was a Dave ninja steal. So that's is Olympus's ninja cap here. 1-0 lead, 4 minutes left. Citrix still has a chance here to tie things up. Especially considering they still have their ninja cap. But we have to wait and see if they all manage to get that cap, or if Olympus is gonna take the map here. We do see a steal here from Flays as Chemist. Is just getting quick walled here and unable to get out.
Meanwhile, we do have a steal from Sensational here. Does manage to get on top of spawn. Looks like he has 0 stakes. Oh, just barely missed the pass. Hobo being able to get there just in time. It looks like we have Dave in chat calling out that Mr. Bubdub, also known as Grizzly Bear, is on Ninja now, likely looking for that Ninja cap.
Oh, that is Bubdub. I actually didn't realize that. Whoops. Well, as things wind down here for the rest of this map, 3 minutes left. I'm curious what Citrix strategy is going to be here. Obviously, they are looking probably to get their ninja cap in. But they could also just look...
Oh, there it is. Does get killed before the pearl lands, though.
Sensational actually is out as Soldier going through the bottom building. Good map knowledge there, opting to go up and through. Makes a risky pass there, a bit of miscommunication, closer to the heavy, which is not ideal when there's a pyro in front of you. He's going to get frenzied here, but quickly healed off. He's going to have the medic there to heal him. And unless Citrix gets a good steal here, which they actually do with the elf as Fatal Blast.
Looks like he does have a lot on him, though. Relying on Bub's ninja cap here. He isn't able to get it, and Leo's going to walk in for that second cap. That was very nice from Olympus's offense. After Sensational was able to get off that pass, they had a lot of support there. So even though the Pyro, amongst other things such as Bulk, was there trying to stop him, he was able to survive with all of those offensive pushes.
So with only less than 2 minutes here, I do not think Citrix has it to even tie up this map anymore. Olympus is all going to take, most likely, this map and have the edge in the upcoming 2 maps. It's going to be interesting to see how these teams perform in Rundown, since we saw Rundown was played in the first week. And, well, obviously Olympus did not have a good performance that week against the Baguettes. Citrix also had a tied Delta Post on that map in week 1. He actually participated at spawn right now with the medic. Almost gets knocked at the spawn, but wins away at the last second.
do have a steal here from Citrix by Flays. Is going to go... Oh! Participated does go down there. Wasn't able to see what happened.
Yeah, I think he just
Meanwhile,
went down to a... I think Participated just went down to a solo ninja there. Bit strange. KRX is heavy and has the medic support at mid. There's a lot in front of him.
The Pyro is coming up right now. Is going to get a bit lucky with knockback here. Staying away from the Pyro.
If KRX hurries here, he could get this cap, and if there's a ninja waiting for the backup, they could tie things up very close. There is a ninja going to be there waiting for the backup, but it's just not going to happen, especially with Cameron stealing now as Soldier. Citrix might not get this cap at all if Cameron is able to stall long enough. Doesn't, in fact. Citrix manages to bring it into a one cap game. Not able to tie things up here on map 1, but able to keep things close, so in the event a tie occurs, they don't have to come back too much if that does happen.
That was very nice support from Citrix there for that one last cap in just the very last minute of the map. We did have Flays as Chemist there, throwing health pots at KRX, so even though he was down enough health for the bulk in front of him to be able to crit him out, he stayed alive because of those health pots, making his medic have just enough time to get in there and get the restore.
Well, as we look now forward to rundown, as I was mentioning, what we've seen from both of these teams, obviously with Olympus versus the Baguettes quickly took it over. Well, not quickly. It was about a 10-minute, I believe, map, 10 to 15-minute, and they got 4-0'd by the Baguettes versus Citrix, which was I believe, if I remember correctly, either a 2-2 tie or a 3-3 tie. I knew it was a tie. I forgot what exactly the cap score was, but it's gonna be interesting to see how teams perform here. I expect there's gonna be a stalemate at some point due to how this map just operates. It's a little bit more offensive biased than Bazaar.
Yeah, definitely. The match with Citrix and Delta Force on this map was a 2-2 tie.
2-2, okay. Another thing to note here that we didn't see much of Bazaar. Bazaar doesn't lend itself too much. Ultra does have a little bit of role in Bazaar, but Ultra on Rundown has a much more impactful role here. So it's going to be important to note the Ultra matchups more than anything else. That's going to be especially the major difference from map 1. I would expect, looking at the teams, Trenny to be the Ultra for Olympus, and who would it? Valicon. They actually, I don't know if Valicon subbed in or not, but Valicon will be.
They did.
So Valicon will be subbing in and playing Ultra for Citrix here.
We also have Crizzle subbing in, likely to play a bulky offense role for a map such as Rundown. Meanwhile, on the side of Olympus, I do not see anyone subbing in.
I saw Crizzle subbed in because Crizzle did sub in.
Confusing names.
Yeah.
All right. How do you feel about that matchup with Trenny and Valicon?
Well, for my Valicon plays a little bit more of a passive role. I feel like tends to play more defensively and just standard spots. Versus Trenny likes to move around a lot, especially on this map. From what I've seen, he likes to play low ground on top of buildings, moving various spots to just catch the offense off guard, because obviously if you get a couple headshots in, that's going to hurt offensive chances of getting a good steal. Definitely.
So starting off here on Rundown, taking a look at Olympus's composition here, it looks like they are running the double elf now with Aussie and Mario. And then as we look at the offense for Citrix, looks like we have Scape on Necro as well as Crizzle on Medic.
And something to note here, as Boss pointed out in chat, Something he predicted is Evan's ankles being broken, and well, his ankles can't be broken if he doesn't play. We do see an elf steal here from participated already across mid and the restore. No one was able to get in front of Mario at all for that steal. But we do see another steal from Citrix, who's also across mid and has medic support.
That was an interesting steal from Citrix there. We did have Flays in does go down while death tag to the ninja. That's a call to buff Chemist's armor values.
Well, that's also a mistake on Flays' part, I would say. As you see another steal from Aussie, who's actually ninja, already across the map. It's going to just run into the pyro. You don't often see that, getting the pyro recovering at mid on a ninja steal. Not a common thing, but good head-up play from Ringwraither there.
Yeah, so it is worth noting with that steal with Flays, he did get swapped back into a Pyro Frenzy, and while he actively had stuff like Scout, Ninja, Pyro on him, did manage to stay alive across the map to get the medic, but then did get quick drop there just because of Death Tag's power when it comes to recovering.
But I think another thing to note about Flays, I think Flays slightly misplayed. He was running ahead of his support, so there was a noticeable difference, distance between him and his support, which allowed the ninja just come in and get that couple hits on Flays there. If he stayed back a little bit more, waited, he would have been able, more likely, to survive there against that ninja.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like he was just trying to gain ground, which wasn't the right play during a stalemate. We do have a push here from Citrix into the flag room. It looks like most of them got in. However, Olympus does get do a good job of knocking them all back. We have Skate coming in late. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do much against 4 players. Yep, so Olympus already taking a demanding lead on this map. Nearly got the 2-0 with the Ninja Cap immediately after that first capture, but Citrix was able to recover with the Pyro at mid strategy.
Participated has another clean elf steal. Gets the medic regen. He did get the medic regen there, but the medic got headshot. They're still going to get the restore and he's across. Citrix is just struggling to take care of these elf threats, and that allows Participated on both times to get across fairly clean. On the other side, we see Bub as Soldier.
Is stalling here.
Yeah, it still has 2 stake here, so I mean...
2. Yeah. Oh, and double medic. It's worth noting on that first cap as well, Pudgy did roam up to middle when Flays did get out. She is on defense medic here, which is interesting to say the least. And looks like we are running into the rundown stalemate. Thus forward hold.
And both opting to hold in similar spots right now in that standard small building near spawn. It is important to note the class difference definitely favors Citrix here. Them being on Soldier. Mario's going to quickly pass to the Soldier here. So now that class difference is no longer there. It's a Soldier versus Soldier stalemate.
And also worth noting, they can now send Mario on recovery, which is definitely pretty good. Looks like Olympus is once again opting for a bulk-based recovery. Looks like they have double Soldier, double Heavy, and the Medic. Trying to pull what they did on Bazaar on the first map.
And another thing to note here, Citrix is the one more under pressure in general, as Olympus already got that quick 1-0 lead. Meaning, if Citrix wants to keep this game alive, they need to at least tie things up here. Meaning they need to win the stalemate, and if they lose this stalemate, that's going to be even more difficult for Citrix to come back here. A kind of a similar story as we saw in the previous match between Annihilation and the Baguettes, where it was once again a 1-0 lead for the Baguettes, and there was a stalemate, and Annihilation needed to get that win the stalemate, and they didn't. And so that map was not basically over, but definitely way harder.
Very difficult to come back from that, yeah. So, worth noting, we do have a change showing Citrix adaptability here. They have a lot more roaming than they did on the last map during the stalemate. knowing that that bulk can easily shred through the pyro with good PvPers such as Carowinds and Aussie on it. They do have Wolfie98 as well as... Oh, didn't catch the heavy's name. Crizzle. Crizzle is also roaming, just to make sure that the Olympus recovery is staggered this time.
Oh,
Ooh,
that was a headshot. And the medic was there to pick it up. They're going to be a backup steal now.
Second capture.
From Soleo. A lot of momentum from Olympus here. Citrix really has to bring things back real quickly as Soleo is out. Is out to go through the tunnel. Not a common route you see being used here on Rundown, but good map awareness from Leo.
Definitely, and I see it working a lot more for Heavy here, especially since he would have been in archer range that entire time, should he have opted to go above ground. Is on his side of the map here, has nothing but a ninja on him, is able to kill it, and despite having only one stake, it does look like he's going to walk this thin unless Citrix are able to get a steal. Escape does a good job of holding him back, but alas to no avail, he is able to get the capture.
That's now a quick 3-0 once again. 2 caps back to back after they won that stalemate. Things are looking dire here for Citrix. Olympus, all they need is to get one capture to close things out and win the match here. Something I wanted to note there on that Leo steal, the pyro with Frenzy was on him, pulled it off, but participated, I think it was participated, might have been Aussie on Elf, got the pure element onto the ring, and if you're not aware, pure element does give a bit of a slowness effect, I believe, at least significantly, and break sprint, which slowed the pyro after he got the frenzy, which allowed Leo to get away and not get hit by the pyro.
Yeah, definitely good use of a very underutilized mechanic on offense. Pure element able to not only get that initial stun, but also deal 6 parts of true damage. Likely going onto a ninja or assassin most of the time use it, which is huge value.
Wolfie is now on Scout. I don't believe he was playing Scout before.
No, he
probably was playing Ninja. So a little bit of a change up there to try and switch things up and maybe find some stabilization on defense.
Yeah, I think the Swapper is going to come in handy, especially with a lot of those captures from Olympus happening because nothing was able to get in front. So Wolfie's strategy could be to bring the carriers back behind the defense here. Also, another thing worth noting is that Scout does have slightly more survivability than Ninja, so he is able to stay alive longer and put more damage in.
And do you see a chemistry here from Flaze is out and has the medic. Gets into the water as the pyro used frenzy. He's death tagged and only has 1 heal pod, so
is getting boosted a lot though, albeit away from his medic.
Does get swapped
back by Dapier into the frenzy. Does end up surviving it. Still death tagged here for such a long time. Gonna take all that melee damage and finally go down as the medic finally gets back.
On the other side, we see an elf here, but he goes down pretty quickly to damage there. I will knock the backup steal, and it's going to go down there as well. Aussie actually gets an elf steal, but is stuck in the flag and also goes down. He was
looking promising going out front, but he did have stuff push him back in.
So it seems Olympus has found some stabilization in these roster changes, notably Food Court to Pyro defense, Carowinds to Soldier defense, and then I believe it was EO to Medic offense.
Yeah, I think personally, I think Food Court's ability to PvP does make him slightly better on Medic offense, but that's not to put your 6 down at all. She has been playing the role for years and is also very good at coordinating and positioning. So it's definitely a worthwhile switch, especially with a key player like Carowinds off of Pyro and on the roam.
And it's also important to note that PvP skills is more important for Pyro than Medic, I believe.
Yes, for sure. A medic with good positioning can definitely outperform a medic with good PvP that is most likely trying to be a battle medic more often.
We see a good elf steal here from Fatal Burst is out and approaching mid with still 2 stake left.
We also have a steal from Sensational on Soldier.
Fatal does get the Viso here, still at mid. It's going to be actually gets shot across, but gets swapped back into the Pyro. Pyro doesn't have Frenzy. Now he does. Gets Frenzied there. Now this allows Sensational. Oh, never mind.
From the Archer on his side of the map. That was looking very close for Olympus to finally seal this game off. However, Valicon does get a very nice shot into a ninja recovery from K-Rex.
And now we're looking at 8.5 minutes left, and Citrix needs to get at least 3 captures. Remember, the first map was only a 1 cap. They only had a 1 cap deficit, so tying here definitely isn't in the end of the world here. In fact, they can still feasibly get.
Interesting here. Aussie is able to get out as Elf. Does get the reset. He notably picked up right before the ninja was able to steal, ninja being Sensational, and is going to go off the map here with no more wind left. Meanwhile, we do have what was probably... Oh, does get recovered off by Scout. Not sure what happened there for Citrix offense.
So that was a very good swap from Wolfie onto Aussie. I think the scout change definitely is helping Citrix stabilize on defense and getting those clutch recoveries. Scout is definitely one of those that is able to stall flag carriers, apply death tags, do a lot of things to disrupt teams' offenses rather. He is warming up to offense here, and he's going to swap the Pyro out and get a scout steal here. Try to pass that to the medic. Tried to pass it to the medic there, but it's just too much around, and Olympus was easily able to recover that. See, a lot coming in for Olympus allows Aussie to get a good steal here. Gets swapped down, though. Once again, the scout playing an essential role for Citrix. Still gets the V-Star and is crossing mid once again.
On his side of the map now, all he needs to watch out for are these stray ninjas, as he is in front of the bulk.
Gets the V-Star once again, is heading to the flag. Citrix needs to either stall here, get a cap, or get a clutch recovery. You do see a
Pyro right behind Aussie, as well as the scout. Pyro is dealt with outside the flag room.
Sobo quickly getting the steal before Aussie can get to the flag.
In this game.
Barely anyone on Hobo right now. Only a ninja. And Trainy's not going to be able to do anything that close. Aussie goes down to the Archer. The medic picks it up. They have to be careful here. They could drop.
Oh,
the Hobo goes down. It should be a cap, and that's it.
And that's it.
Olympus takes the game.
Very interesting there. Bazaar looking a lot closer with the 2-1 Olympus win, but then they just blew out Rundown here, notably with the very same strategy that they got blown out on from TB, running the double elf, which I think definitely made the difference for their offense here.
I'm going to be working on getting Justin in for the interview here. Let's discuss player of the game. Who do you think stood out to us this game?
I'm not sure if anyone individually was able to stand out. I do know that Dave personally got like some pretty good swaps in there, as well as we had Aussie just have an overall pretty solid game on both offense and recovery when he was on that role. I don't know. What do you think?
It's hard to say. I mean, there's a lot of good players who did a lot of key plays. I mean, I'm thinking back to Bazaar 1 with Dave. Remember his ninja steal to stop Citrix from capping on Bazaar 1 and head into the stalemate, which they eventually won. And also, in general, his scout play was very solid on Rundown here.
Yeah, worth noting that he did get a couple of swaps here that did matter between either Citrix being able to capture or die there, as well as getting off death tags that were able to notably stop Flays towards the very beginning of this map. And then again, that Ninja Steal as well was able to save Olympus from possibly starting out with a very early down one position on Bazaar.
Another play I want to point out is Participated. He was getting a lot of good steals on both maps, especially here on Rundown, as Elf. Especially and in the beginning. So that's another play I'm looking at.
Well, we can try and look at stats here and see if they say anything contradictory or perhaps support one person over the other. Look here.
Oh, for all though, I think the team in general played well and played as a unit, which is something we needed to see from them after the past 2 weeks being a little on the, well, definitely not where we thought Olympus would be. So
definitely, it is good to see a ton of improvement here from them as opposed to the last 2 matches. Their offense did seem very coordinated that time. Medic almost always getting heals and then restores across both maps on all of their good pushes.
I want to say, as the more I think of it, I'm leaning more towards Dave, due to his clutch ninja steal on Bazaar and also his general scout play here on Rundown.
I think I could definitely agree with that.
Because I do want to move on to our interview since we have Justin waiting in the call here for us. We should be able to.
Right.
There we go. Yo, what's up, Justin? Congratulations on your win against Citrix. How are you feeling?
It was light work. Did what I had to do. Coordinated offense. We just started playing better. We got all of our problems down pat, and we came into the match with a good mindset.
That's good. I'm curious, how does this match compare to the previous 2 matches in the season? How's the overall team feeling? How's offense feeling? All that stuff. How does that feel compared to the past 2 weeks?
I think we should have never performed the way we did in our matches, and over the past 2 matches, we've just been organizing better, trying to figure out our issues, talking to each other, just trying to figure out where our synergy was falling as a team, and we just brought it back together. We're just trying to work better as a team. We realized that we lost to ourselves more than we lost to TB, and we definitely shouldn't have won the Delta Force match, but we did our best and we pulled it back. And now we're just trying to be where we should be, starting from here on out.
And it definitely seems like you're all getting back into form, especially on that on Rundown.
Oh yeah,
showing a lot of good team plays and good coordination and everything.
For sure.
Kadona, do you have any questions?
Definitely. Yeah, so who on Citrix's defense was especially troubling for you guys on offense? Who was putting in a lot of work?
No one. Just not like a flame sort of thing or anything, but we just didn't have a particular issue with anyone. I feel like we just worked together. Any issue that we had as a singular person, we dealt with it together. Maybe if someone was chasing me down and I couldn't steal, I would roam to my support and we would fight them together, just like a teamwork sort of thing.
Definitely very nice. And then I also had another question. Other than, of course, massively improving the ability to coordinate and all of that, what was your plan coming into Rundown this week as opposed to week 1? What did you kind of swap up to kind of make the gears start grinding and kind of get you going all the way into a big old 4-0 victory over CX here?
I think a little bit of changes in our roles maybe helped us. For this match, we had Trenny play bulk instead of Evan, and I think that maybe did a lot more. Same with Caro. The double bulk on our comps helped us a lot for defense compared to the other.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, I don't have any further questions. Do you?
No, that's pretty much it. I think it is
Well-
worth noting that that swap for Trenny on bulk did do a lot on Bazaar. He got looks like 5,600 damage across the entire game.
Boy,
So once again, congratulations on your win against Citrix. Much better performance from Olympus here than the previous 2 weeks. So huge congratulations, and we look forward to your upcoming matches throughout the rest of the season.
thank you.
Well, I think that's going to be mostly do it for us. I think we're going to go with Dave, player of the game, probably.
Yeah, we'll do Dave as player of the game.
Okay, so once again, that was a 2-1 4-0 victory for Olympus today over Citrix. Congratulations to them.
Light work. Let's
Light
go.
work. And I'm going to see you tomorrow as we have, I think it was, who was it? Fotia versus
Team Fallen.
Team Fallen. Pretty interesting matchup here. First match, Team Fallen is going to play that actually should give a sign of where they actually are, as the match last week against Annihilation didn't show much of that. So an interesting match to watch tomorrow. And I guess we'll see you all then.
Yep, it's going to be 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.